Hey, Francis Charles here with another comic book review. Today, I finally, after all these months, started reading Hello Darkness. I started with number one. This is from Boom Comics. Hello Darkness is a collection of short horror stories. And this is a very good book. I heard nothing but rave reviews when it first came out. And I read so many books. Some books I let pile up, get 6 or 7 deep before I start them. But man, this is great writing. The way that it's put together is there's not just one type of horror. There's everything from gore to reality based to monsters to the last story that is far, far too real. By the end of every story, I was just in shock of the horror and just how well it was written. I mean, it sucks you in. The first story is about a virus, per se, that affects children in this town, and every child who comes into contact with another one ends up killing their parents. And there are theories about what it is. Is it aliens? Is it government technology? What's going on? Nobody really knows. And it is a brutal, well written story. Another story is called Stay in Your Lane. And it is about an old bowler who had hurt himself years ago after making the pros and how he's frustrated. And when there was a pro scout that came to the lanes, he thought it was his time, but they passed him up. And so he went on a rampage and killed everybody in the bowling alley in spectacular, brutal ways. And then we also have a short story from Something is Killing the Children. And if you follow that series, it's a great series. Not really too much into it. Erica just shows up in the town, into the town bar, and they're talking about the rash of murders that's going on. And if she knows what's happening, they're trying to see maybe an outside perspective, if she might know what's going on. And of course, we know that, yeah, she knows what's going on. If you've been reading Something That's Killing the Children, one of, I would say probably the best thing going for Boom Comics right now. So I think that's cool that they threw that a story in from that universe to, maybe bring more readers into that. And then, like I said, it's a lot of book for the one price. I'm not going to go on too much about it, but like I said, there was so many, about 6, 7 stories, all unique, different art styles, different writing styles, from the fantastical to the last story. It was probably the longest story, and it was these friends in New York, talking about the war in Ukraine and the development and the geopolitics, and the whole time it's mundane, yet there's this sense of tension in the air in the conversation. And there's really not a lot of action, just a lot of heated conversation and dialogue about current events. And you have one side trying to downplay it and comfort the other side. And it is written in a way that is uncomfortably relatable. And at the end of the story, you're waiting for that ball to drop. You're waiting for this big moment of gruesome violence or something terrible to happen, but it doesn't come. The party, they disperse, they go back to their homes, and the last panel is a couple. The man wakes up his wife holding his phone, and the last words are, "London's gone." And so it's a big escalation, and the beginning of World War III, and it is to be continued. So I am very excited to get into the rest of this series. I have like 5 or 6 more books to get through, but this is very good. I would say get it while you can. There have also been a lot of reprintings. And I'm sure you can get it on trade paperback by now, but it is a very, very, very well written book. And if you don't like the one story, there's going to be a story in here that really draws you in. But I loved every page, every panel of this, so I highly suggest you get it. Hello Darkness from Boom Comics. I think we're up to number 7 right now. So those will be available at local comic book store. And if you don't have a local comic book store, I always suggest my friends at Coffee and a Comic. You can go to their website, coffeeandacomic.com, or if you live local to Huntington Beach, you can walk in. They give you complimentary fresh ground coffee with every comic purchase, and they ship nationwide, so go check them out. www.coffeeandacomic.com. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. You know I'm going to.